It's a Victory Tuesday edition of the REKAP Lunch Hour. Everybody, what's going on? It's the Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey here in the REKAP studios. Bear down, baby. Bear the F down. The Chicago Bears get a huge win at Washington last night. We're going to break it all down and take your comments. There's nothing not to love. Triple negative. Let's go. Finding a way to win a football game behind Ben Johnson. I see the chat's full. The Bears stunned the Commanders 25-24, two back-to-back 25-24 wins. Once you block a field goal, another you make a field goal. Bears win their third straight. They improve to 3-2. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com to have it delivered straight to your home, straight to your office, wherever you might be. And, of course, a week from tonight, we will be at Hooters Orland Park with Studio 41, Football Rekap Live, Cap, Alex Brown, Tommy Waddle, Guff, me, Katie. We'll all be out there. We're ready to go. Let's get the chat going. Phil, I know you're excited for your Bears. Remember that the Lions and Packers are still... Phil, don't come in here crapping on us on a two... No. Phil... I'm not even going to call you your earned nickname today. Got to come in here, light up the chat. Definitely didn't see the Mariners up. I don't know why. Mariners are really good. Blake Snell was that dude last night. That game was actually pretty crazy. The Brewers better win game 2 if they don't. The series is over. I asked the question, do you guys still care? I know the Cubs are out. Are you still watching? Clearly, the real Phil Simms is. But don't come in here crapping on a Bears win. Kyle's pumped that the Bears found a way to win. Love Coach Johnson's mantra in the locker room. Good, better, best, never let it rest. Take that, Washington. And, of course, we should mention that the Blackhawks did get their first dub last night against Utah. Hope these guys can build on that with St. Louis tomorrow night. No time for the Bears to rest. Short week with the Saints coming to town. Let's stay focused and don't fall. This could be a trap game for the Bears. Bear down the Bears. Jess, great game last night from the Bears. Glad they stayed focused and didn't let the poor officiating get them distracted. I think it'll be a foot race between the Lions and Bears as to who wins the North. Wow, Jess, think about how that's changed. The tenor that the Bears could be in a foot race to win the North. Hey, Guff and Recap, folks. Eric says, hell of a win last night by the Bears. Now let's find a way to win a damn football game against the Saints. The Bears are probably going to be favored in 3 of their next 4. They're certainly favored against New Orleans this weekend, and I don't think there's any excuse that they should lose to the Saints at home. Not with what you've created. Packers lost against the Browns and almost lost against the Bengals. Spells trouble to me. Maybe it was a shaky period, but I'm keeping my eye on Matt LaFleur. Also, the Bills and Eagles are also shaky. That's what makes this so interesting, Jess, is that there's no true, there's a lot of 4-2 teams out there. There's nobody that's left that's undefeated. There's nobody that you're like, well, God, if anything, the Chiefs are probably like, thank you. I'd have to put KC on that list. I agree. I think the Chiefs are very much looking at look at their schedule. And it's all of a sudden you're like, are you kidding me? The Kansas City Chiefs could be amongst the teams we talk about again. They aren't done. You want to know why? Listen to the Chiefs' schedule the rest of the way and tell me. Raiders, Commanders, at the Bills will be tough. At the Broncos, Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. Tell me the Chiefs are done. No shot. Jordo's just happy that they won. LA won the game. Oh, you're happy about the Dodgers. Okay. He's not happy about the L flag that the Brewers put up. Also, the officials were horrible last night for both sides. They need to get rid of illegal contact penalties. Should have only had pass interference and defensive holding. I don't mind the illegal contact, but make sure it's illegal contact. The penalty against Benedict was terrible to erase the Rome touchdown. Absolutely atrocious. There was multiple penalties last night. It was like, it's already hard enough to win in this league. It's hard to win on the road. And when you have to overcome bad officiating, it's even harder. Becky had her wine. That means the Bears won. Saints are bad. They're 1-5. You can't overlook anybody, Becky. Don't judge a team by its record, just like Eric says. Take one game at a time, see what happens from there. And I think they have a coach right now who's not going to allow them to look too far ahead. Jed wants to trade Kyle Tucker for Kyle Schwarber, give him a $100 million deal. Worth it. I think Kyle Schwarber's getting more than $100 million. I think a lot of people would say, yeah, you're not going to bring back Kyle Tucker. You're going to bring back Kyle Schwarber. And I think most Cub fans are going to say yes. Oh, hey, there's Godfather. Let's not forget that Tom Ricketts is still under the luxury tax. Tom Potter. If you think I'm going to forget that, you're sorely mistaken. Now back to your Bear talk. I would expect nothing more. Nathan, Bears found their momentum in the run game, and Caleb showed up at big moments. There's still tons of work to do. Negative rushing yards, 58.6 completion percentage, no INTs, though. That's a major improvement. Look, I saw a stat this morning from Courtney Cronin. It's incredible that Caleb Williams is the first Bears quarterback in history, in franchise history, to throw for 200 yards and a touchdown in every game in the first 5 games of a season. That's pathetic. It's great, and it's also pathetic that it's never happened. The guy's not turning the football over. Yes, there were some cringe moments at times last night, but this came down to turnovers, folks. The big catastrophic fumble by Jaden Daniels, the Bears capitalized, and Caleb took him down the field, 9 plays, 36 yards, and 307 for the Jake Moody field goal. How about that? Jake Moody. Who's worse, asked Godfather? NFL officials who call ticky-tack penalties almost every time there's a big play, or home plate umps who have no idea where the strike zone is. I'll take NFL, ticky-tack. I saw last night that this crew calls the most penalties in the league. Well, here's what's going to happen. They're a relatively new crew, and they're trying to prove their point and find their footing and be in the big games. They're going to do a review on these guys and tell you, you got a lot of work to do. Oh, Godfather's always here, ready to go. Always here, ready to go. What's up, Landon? Bears win. Provasic for everyone. Godfather, Hawks played their worst game last night and won. Congrats to Kyle Davidson. Now get ready for the draft lottery in May. Wow. Godfather, he's just being his usual self on a Tuesday to continue Coach let me start that again. To continue Coach Johnson's mantra. Until your good gets better and your better gets best. Love this attitude and game management him and the coaching staff has established for this organization. My guy, Breck Bear, mental and physical is 4-1. Bears were lucky after shooting themselves in both feet, hands, and thighs. You know what, though, Breck? You didn't shoot yourselves in the heart, which is what the Washington Commanders did last night, turning the ball over 3 times. Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned in 7.5 minutes that DeAndre Swift was a beast. Need to get more of that. He was fantastic. And tonight on Studio 41, as a matter of fact, here's Kyle. Bet Olin gives the line a solid B rating on Football Rekap Live tonight. If the passing game was better protected, they'd get an A. I love that that's where we're headed. I was just about to promote that tonight at 8 o'clock. Cap, Olin, Kreutz, and Tom Waddle will be there for Studio 41 Football Rekap Live right here on the channel, 8 p.m. Join the fun, a full breakdown of last night's win. And, of course, we're going to look ahead to next week's game against the New Orleans Saints. Preach, Godfather. Oh, we're never going to let Godfather, or he's always going to have the floor. Hope DJ is okay. It was huge in the game as well. Yeah, DJ Moore did stay overnight in Washington for medical, just for eval. Everything I've seen so far is that they expect him to be okay. However, he did take a pretty good shot. Let me see if I see anything. Last I saw is that he did stay overnight. Let's see if we got anything. Full update here. Spent the night to receive extra medical attention. Still downfield blocking his butt off. Yeah, he was blocking his butt off big time. Nathan, I think as well as the Bears performed under pressure last night, Washington equally crapped the bed. Tons of fumbles, drops, uncharacteristic mistakes for them. It felt very much like a thank you for last year. The Bears kind of stole one just like the Commanders did. Johnson is a much better coach than Eberflus. Becky, it's not even close. Bubs, yo, Guffy, did you try any of that coffee or cookies from Little Sisters? Holy hell, Bubs. Those cookies were about that thick, okay? And it was like baked on top and inside, almost like fresh cookie dough. So did I try them? Oh, yeah. Took them home to the family. Big fans across the board. Thank you for sending the coffee. It's here in the office. And yes, the cookies were an unbelievably nice surprise. So we appreciate you sending the entire care package. Payback's a bitch, isn't it, Washington? Erica, top rope. I love it, Erica. Yeah. CPO, that was a great win by the Bears despite horrible officiating. Pablo, sun shining a bit brighter today after a Bears dub. Javier, lifestyle, bear down. Man, this is so much more fun. This is so much more fun when the Bears are winning. What happened with DJ Moore at the end of the game? He was holding his leg for quite some time throughout the game. Look, I mean, this blocking downfield on the final play of the game, setting up the game-winning field goal. Yeah, and by the way, the offsides on DJ Moore, equally awful. Left in an ambulance. Yeah, there was a play on his lower leg, his left lower leg. And I don't see anything else. I'll see the latest here. Was hospitalized. I don't see anything here right now. So as we get updates, we'll let you know. Let's go, Theo Benedict. Refs did their best to throw the game with the bullshit calls. How does the league let them get away with this crap? They get graded. They get games based off of that, and they won't be in these primetime slots. That's what will happen. Kyle, the defense is awesome. And taking the ball away, still missing Jalen Johnson. Go get a pass rusher, and we are in business. Jayhawk Kyle. Met Jayhawk Kyle last week in Downers Grove. And to your point, Kyle, only the Jaguars have more takeaways than the Bears in the NFL this year. The Javier lifestyle, now that was a great win. Not only did we beat the Commanders, but the refs as well. We should earn 2 wins. Kyle, hope Chicago can keep the momentum going in all the sports. Fire have their last regular season game this weekend. Let's finish strong. Go Fire. I will say this. I'm glad the Bears won, obviously, and I'm glad they didn't lose. But I really am glad we don't have to bitch about the officiating after a loss because the Bears there were a lot of mistakes the Bears made outside of penalties that can be cleaned up. So, Kyle Schwarber for 2026 is Jordo. This is Da Bearston. I love it. I'm just so happy that we're talking about wins and 3 straight. Let's go. See us next week, guys. There it is. There's the address. Make your plans to be with us. Give Orland Park a call. Come out early. Shows at 8. Come have dinner early. Let's fill the place. Rick, good morning. I knew Caleb would bring them down to win the game. I was still surprised how great the clock management was. By the way, to the members, did you see I released a 32-1 long shot parlay to the members only chat last night? 32-1, 10-leg parlay. The eight checked pretty quickly. This was the parlay. I'm going to read it to you for members. DJ Moore, 3 catches, check. DJ Moore, over 37.5 yards, check. DeAndre Swift, over 18.5 receiving yards, check. DeAndre Swift, over 30 yards rushing, check. Bill Krosky-Merritt, over 50 yards rushing, check. Zach Ertz, 25 or more yards, check. Caleb Williams, 200 or more yards, check. Jaden Daniels, 175 or more yards, check. Zacchaeus, 3+ catches, and a pivotal drop late in the game. He ended it with 2. And then I had Deebo Samuels for 40 yards. He had 15. Folks, I'll keep giving those to the members. I'm going to keep giving these long shot. We almost came through last night in a monster way. LC, look up Breck Bear, will you? You're there, taking in the sights before USA Australia tonight. Love it. Jake Moody, yeah, he gets a shout out for sure. 4 out of 5. Didn't expect him to even get the call up last night. Hawks win. Hopefully this becomes a habit. Let's go, Al. Amazing how the feel around town is so good after a Bears dub. Al nails it. Everything changes when you get the Bears winning in this town. Michael, do you see the Bears making a move before the deadline? Who would you get? I don't know. I really wish I had a good answer here. They have 3 more games before the deadline. So let's call it 2-1 in that stretch. Okay, so they're 5-3. They're in position. I don't know. I just don't want to give up a lot of draft capital at the expense of a running back for 8 games. I think we need to know more before I can answer that question. Happy Victory Tuesday. We should just extend Ben Johnson for life. Be careful. We've done that in this town, and it gets us in trouble. What do you say? He is the man. I do love him, though. He's on a 5-year deal. That's a nice launching pad. 13 mil a year. The league should never let first-year ref crews do primetime games again. In fact, that ref crew last night should only be doing Browns games. And that's what they do. They give them the opportunity, and if they fail, you won't get those games. Kyle says Theo's penalty was truly BS. It really was. Total technicality, I get it, but still not very good officiating last night. The NFL wanted to crack down on this, I think, going back to last year. It was not blatant to me. that he was lined up in the backfield. It just wasn't. The real Phil Simms. Guff, do you see the Cubs making any really big moves this winter? It might come at the expense of others, like if they don't bring Kyle Tucker back, will they make a creative trade using some of their prospects? I think that could happen. I do think there's a big move, maybe not plural. I think the Cubs have a big move in store with another good move and then maybe some smaller moves. I just don't know how much money they want to spend. Just being honest, to Godfather's point. Just being honest to Godfather's point. And until we're proven otherwise, we need to know. By the way, I got the new drink special today. Let me cue that up right here. I had to reach out to my person at Hooters and be like, where's these drink specials this month? Here you go. Of course, the lunch specials are the same at Hooters, originalhooters.com. 11 to 3 every day. The boneless wings, the OG wings, the hamburger, it's all there for you. Just great lunch specials all the time. $9.99 or less for those. All day, everyday specials. The chicken strips and fries, $10.99. The shrimp and fries, $11.99. You ready? We did this in the summer, but guess what it is this month? The spiked blackberry lemonade. Watch out. Watch out, man. Lemonade spiked with Jack Daniel's whiskey and Monin blackberry syrup. $8. Of course, the Big Daddy mugs. They're flowing. We know it's in there. The Big Daddy mugs, Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, Sam Adams Oktoberfest, Dos Equis. The best place to watch football and playoff baseball is at Hooters. Great food, cold beer, iconic Hooters girls. Proud partner of the REKAP and the REKAP Lunch Hour. Okay. Joseph. Yeah, me too. Listen, the arrow's pointing after the Bears. When was the last time we could say that? It's how far back can we go? Darnell Wright did play his ass off. He might have a torn UCL, and he's out there in a brace just kicking people's ass, looking like the first rounder we expected him to be. Steve, we should have won by 10 or more. Definitely improving. It can only go up from here. Ben Johnson after the game is epic stuff. Hey, win, 1, 10, what? They won. Lip, bear down. Swift's best game as a Bear. How about the O-line? They deserve all the praise today. Benedict has certainly calmed everything down. It certainly feels like a lot better, under a lot more control. Al says there's more active Sox players on the Brewers than Kopech on Dodgers. Go Brewers. It's a way to cheer for him. Bubs Aikman sounds like my best friend's talking about my ex-girlfriend when he's talking about Caleb. Yeah, I don't know. I like Buck and Aikman, but he does not like Caleb Williams. My God. And how many times, by the way, could you imagine, I actually like the fact that Jaden Daniels is always like calm, cool, and collected on the sidelines, smiling, they taking accountability. If Caleb was doing that when the Bears were losing, they would be crushing him. Like it's not a two-way street. Caleb's best throw of NFL life was TD to Odunze was taken away. I don't know if it was his best throw of his NFL life. He certainly put it in one spot for his guy to make a play, and he did. Swift should be KB's next guest on Intercepted. Ooh, he actually, if you go back to last year, Kyle, Swift was on Intercepted in season 1. Fact. CPO O-line did another great job keeping Caleb up again, even though he technically got sacked 3 times. Only one of those was an actual sack. Caleb, look at that. Scorpius. Wayne, that was not roughing the quarterback on Sweat, just a horrible call, and the refs cost us a great catch by Rome. I would argue, yes, you're right, but they have made it to the point where you can no longer even touch the head of a quarterback. And I mean touch. I'm just being honest. Charles, what's up? About that crazy devil play last night, I always thought that if it hit the ball hit or touched the yellow line, no, it's got to go up and over. Nope. The yellow line is kind of like the top of the wall. But it was an insane double play to the point where Freilich had no idea what the hell was going on. Had to mute the broadcast and throw on Bears radio. Buck and Troy, mainly Troy, just hate what Caleb likes. I agree. Today, Ricketts has his feet up on the desk, smoking a cigar, thinking he had a great year, didn't need to spend extra. Any comments? Tough to argue. Which jersey should I wear for the game against the Saints on Sunday? Torn between Walter and Caleb. You know what? Let's support Caleb. Let's go Caleb. I love Walter, my favorite player of all time. But Caleb, man, like, let's get out there and start wearing the guy who's going to be the best quarterback in the history of the Bears. Shy text, Bears almost got robbed by referees in the league, but they didn't. Prayers up for DJ. Bears could have put up 30-plus last night. Also saw it's the first time in 30 years that the Bears have scored 20 in every single game to start a season through 5 weeks. That's awful. God, that's how bad it's been around here. Great therapy, especially after the Game 5 loss on Saturday. Yeah, that was therapy, all right. We go 7-2 with the next 4-game schedule, all winnable. Looking ahead, like looking at the schedule. I mean, here's your next 4. Home against New Orleans, at Baltimore. Lamar will likely be back for that game. At the Bengals, who we got Joe Flacco at starting quarterback. And then the Giants are now a lot more interesting than they were prior to. So we'll see about that. Jaden Daniels took full responsibility, as he should have. I thought it was great. Phantom face mask and roughing the passer were also garbage calls. Matt, how many games did the Bears win on the road when Eberflus was their coach? Ben has already beaten Matt Eberflus in that category. It's terrible. The fact that the Bears won in spite of officiating is because of good coaching. Thanks, Coach Ben. Caleb's still missing throws, but progressing. That's fine. He's going to keep missing. Got to clean it up. He's got to have a higher completion percentage. I'm borderline okay with the baseball season being over. My stress levels were too much. That being said, Guff, what are your Cubs must-have free agents? I think they need a big bat, a stud starting pitcher, and definitely a guy in the 9th inning. Those are 3 things I think they have to have. Can't believe Duval leads the league in takeaways. No betting in Hawaii. Oh, you're talking about the parlay. I want a 10 leg at plus 988. There you go, Javier. You got to share yours, dude. Come on, Lip Ripper always does. Ben Johnson is absolutely the guy for the job. That is the Chicago Bears organizational rebuild. They got to let this guy cook and build around him, not the other way around. The mood is a good Moody today. I like what you did there. Do we all go with Moody all the way now? I don't know. You probably don't lose your job to injury, but somebody may swoop him up off the practice squad if he goes back. Nathan's still hammering pulls. Eberflus won 3. That's what it was, Landon. You're right. Zacchaeus had all green. If he caught that, he'd still be running. Former Iowa basketball player girl Peyton joined Oklahoma City Sanford. Did we do something to Troy Aikman? Jonathan, great question. We've been talking about that. Who else took the Chicago parlay last night? I did not. That would have worked. Moody did what was required of him. If he hits 55-yard field goals, then I would consider, but let's wait and see. Well said. Hawks have been close in every game. Imagine when Connor Bedard actually grows up. Jaden Daniels, we saw that took Fuller. I don't know. Shoda's one of those question marks. He may opt out, and then what do? Do the Bears make a trade? Depends on who and at what cost. That's where I'm at. What's the cost? Is Cubs management afraid of getting punked like the Hayward deal? If they are, scared money's lost money. That's what I've always said, Michael. Hate that the Ricketts have always gone cheap, but do you think some of that hinges on the pending lockout where they want to save as much possible? I do. Glad the Scrubs lost. Oh, there's Scorpion. White Sox fan here. Very clear. Jonathan Guff, love talking White Sox. Do you think they make any big moves? I think that they have a shot to sign a couple of players. Guys like Cedric Mullins. Maybe like a number 3 starter type. And then there's guys out there that have pitched in the 9th inning before that I think the White Sox could benefit from having. Kenley Jansen, Kyle Finnegan, etc. So those might not be like huge 9-figure numbers, but I think those type of moves could bridge that gap to closer to being an 80-win team. Was the NFL trade deadline always a big deal? I feel like the last couple of years, the national media have been pushing trade deadline hard for a bunch. No, it was never. The baseball trade deadline gets all the love, NBA too, but there's just not as many trades. Do these teams in Chicago really give a damn about winning? To see what's happening in the 3rd largest market is beyond acceptable. Hey, the Cubs just made the playoffs. The Bears have won 3 in a row. I'm going to ride that momentum until we don't have it anymore. I'm glad I'm not in the minority when it comes to Aikman's criticism of Caleb. Rick, recap members only raffles, contests, or giveaways. Of course, those are coming. Those are definitely coming. What's your take on Aikman? I didn't like any. I was surprised. A lot of comments still here. Buck hates Chicago teams anyway. Now that the clown does color, Aikman joins the party. Summerall Madden, where are you? Guff, of the next 4 games, how many can we win? 3-1 is possible. I think the Saints is a must win. The Giants in a couple of weeks are a lot more intriguing of a team with Jackson Dart and Scadaboo. I just think and here's the other thing. The Giants front 4 is arguably one of the best in football. That's going to be a project for the Chicago Bears to stop. I do think the Bears should beat the Bengals. I do. And Baltimore, I'll give that a loss, but I think 3-1 is doable. 2-2 for sure. 2-2 for sure. National Dessert Day. Our live stream keeps cutting out. You're the first one that said that. Thanks for letting me know. If that continues, people let me know. Speaking of which, let's do bet of the day. Okay, so here's where I'm at on bet of the day because I had so much mojo going. I'm done backing the Bears tight ends. Okay, it's very clear we're not using them. I don't understand. Not only did I lose one bet, I lost both. Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland, they're not a part of the offense. And until further notice, I'm keeping them out. And I read you that parlay I had last night. I didn't put the tight ends there. Why not give you Swift as my bets of the day last night? Bogus, bad move by me. Folks, there's football tonight. There is football going on tonight. And in the bet of the day, I'm going with one of the best against the spread teams in the country. That would be 5-1, Western Kentucky. They are hosting Florida International, the good old FIU team. Here's Florida International. They're 2-3 on the season. They've lost 2 straight. Okay. I just want to look at specifically. They covered in their first 3 games, including Penn State, which I'm not sure you even get a win for that anymore. The last 2 games against Delaware, they were favored by 4.5. They lost by 22. Favored by 4.5, lost by 22. Last week against UConn, they were getting a touchdown, getting 7, and they lost 51-10. And then we get the short week here. Well, they had a 10. This is the first week where we get the Tuesday football. And now they go into Western Kentucky, who's trying to do some things. They're first place in Conference USA. They've beaten Nevada, Missouri State, and Delaware. They've covered in 3 straight and 5 out of 6. Their only loss to Toledo is a pretty good MAC team. I'm laying the 10 tonight on some college football action. Get off the schneid after that crap. I'm done. Thank you, Lip. Appreciate that. Dodgers money line. I thought about going Sal Frelick to get a hit. I may throw Sal Frelick at -160 and a little bit of a small parlay. Thanks, guys. All right, glad it's working. Usually you guys are pretty quick on it. So believe the tight ends have been blocking more than usual, but they're not involved in the offense. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to keep giving you guys bets with those guys in it. Thanks, Kyle. Mariners might win the whole damn thing, which I think would be pretty awesome. So there's the bet of the day. Western Kentucky. Yes, that is college football, folks. The Hilltoppers are out there laying 10. They are 5-1 and 5-1 against the spread this year. For those who want to partake, we do have football, and I'm going to lay the 10 tonight in my recap bet of the day. Lip Ripper says, you already know what I think about this pick. I sprinkled the money line on New Mexico State at +320. Anytime we can scratch that itch with football on a Tuesday, which we're going to have now the rest of the year. I think till February, we have football every single day until the end of the year. That's insane. That's insane. But no more Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland picks from me. I'm done doing it. Ain't happening anymore. I'm sick of getting these low props and then pissing them away. It doesn't make sense. That's been my storyline, Rick, from the start. Give me the Pilots versus Mariners all day long. Mac Nation coming. Hey, bear down, everybody. Bear down, because the Chicago Bears made it a victory Tuesday. Remember, tonight, 8 o'clock, Studio 41, Football Rekap Live. Cap, Olin, Tom Waddle will be with you breaking down last night's win and what it means for the Bears going forward as they prep for the Saints. I'll get in touch with Kevin Byard as we get a new episode of Intercepted taped. A lot going on with our beloved as the Bears have won 3 straight. And let's effing go. LC's got a quick prediction about the White Sox. Bold prediction, adding Josh Naylor and signing a Colin Ray type pitcher. That would be great. Shopping, I agree. I banned Kmet and Loveland from parlays. They blow up every time. No more. All right, Wayne, we'll be happy to have you. Odds Ricketts doesn't go over the luxury tax. -10,000. Andrew, down Bears, baby. Should be, hey, shoulda, woulda, coulda. They could have lost the last 2 games. They didn't. They're 3-2. Have a great day, everybody. You too, Kyle. Remember to join us tonight. Thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Beautiful weather. Just keep going out. As Breck Bear always says, touch some grass. It's all brought to you by Hooters. OriginalHooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.Hooters.com straight to your door. I'm Guff. Enjoy the day. Join us at 8 o'clock tonight. We got the rush hour at 4. We'll see you later and see you tomorrow on the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. Take